Hello, welcome to Carol's Coaching Corner. Today is Sunday's Talks with Carol. I am so happy to see you guys here today. Hopefully, we are going to be running on Facebook as well as YouTube today. So let's hope that this works for us. I want to welcome some of you guys in Vern's Junk Closet. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing me out. Hello, Dolly. Welcome in, my sis. Hello, Audrey. Welcome in. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Um, Welcome. Today's topic for any of us that um, have a friend, have a sisterhood, have a group of women that we um, spend time with, that we share our thoughts and, our deepest, darkest secrets, then this conversation is for you. I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited. I'm excited because this hits true to home. And I think that this is something that we need, something we all need as sisters. And when I talk about sisters, I'm talking about women, whether you're black, white, green, purple, don't matter, your race, your creed, don't matter what your religion is. I am talking about us as women. If you identify as a woman, then you are a part of this group as well. So we are going to definitely get into this conversation. I am going to, of course, get this intro done, get this intro out of the way. And when we get back, go run and get you something to drink. I have my tea here. Go get yourself settled because we're going to get into this conversation. So I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body. I know that it is here to stay. It's like you're my personal Illuminati. I know that some might say that I am just a bad girl, but if you treat me right, I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna bite. I got my hands on your body. So tell me what you want me to do. I can be good or be naughty, because there ain't nobody love you like I do, 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 like
Hey guys, I am back. I'm back. Listen, I said I'm excited about this topic because I am excited about this topic. I personally, at this stage of my life, I am all about positivity. I am all about us uniting, us figuring out how we can better help each other, right? And because that's important to me, that should be important to all of us. Is what we do together as a unit. We need to have some unity, and as sisters, we need to do that. Um, I want to talk about us being accountable to one another, us supporting each other. How do we do that? Why haven't we done it? What's the blockage? What gets in the way? Why are we as we are? Why do we have the bickering and the envy and the jealousy? Why do we have all of those things? But more importantly, how can we do something different? Right? So let me welcome some of you in that I did not get to welcome in. Hey, Shiny. Hi. Hi, Shiny. I'm so happy to have you here. Hey, Tanya. Hey, girl. Hey, Prince Daniel. Welcome to the channel. Welcome. Come on in. Hey, my girl, Advice with Mel. Hello. Thank you guys so much again for showing up because we're going to show out. Now, let me just tell you a little. I want to say this on this channel, we are all free to speak our minds. We are here, we are free to have an opinion, right? We're going to share our thoughts and opinions. They are our thoughts and opinions. This is a judgment free zone. We are here to learn from each other and to just take advice from one another and support each other, because that's what this is all about. Um, let's talk about the disconnect. What's wrong? Why do we not support each other? What is the holdup in us supporting each other? What is the holdup? Why do we not really look out for each other? Why are we not, what does it take for us to look out for each other? What will it take? I know I have some answers. Hey Lynn, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in, sis. I know I have some ideas of why we don't get along and why we don't support each other. I know what it takes. The question is, do you guys know what it takes? Um, when I think about a sisterhood, right? Because we often talk about a circle of friends. Oh, we all say, well, I keep my circle small and tight. I have a circle. What is a circle? It's continuous. It has no breaking points. So if we have a sisterhood or we have a circle of friends, that means that we don't let nothing in. We don't let nothing out. It's a circle. Once you come in, you're committed to that circle because it's continuous. It's continuous. So Tanya, you're saying it stopped being passed down from generation to generation. One thing that's lost without people, there's so many things that's lost without people. um and a lot of these things definitely come down to how we treat each other and why we treat each other a certain way. Absolutely. But I believe that we really have to forget. And I know this sounds like, okay, well, it's easy to say, but if we really want to move forward and do something different, I know, Vern, I said don't let them out. Listen, sometimes we have to let some out, but I believe that comes with people being in your life for a certain season and a reason, right? So there are going to be people that come in our lives and come out of our lives. And sometimes it hurts, but sometimes we have to realize that people have served the season that they should have been in our lives. And as long as you understand what you got out of it, then we're all good. Then that's when we can open up that little circle a little bit and let them out. But in the meantime, when we're talking about our circle of friends, it's continuous. It's continuous. Um, Hello, mother of super twins. Thank you so much for coming in. It's that crabs in the battle mentality. Yes, Audrey. We think that we are each other's competition, but we should be each other's help and support. If you win, we as a sisterhood win. And I couldn't even have said it any better than that. I agree. But I think you're right on spot with that. And just the thought of thinking about crabs in the barrel and how they're constantly pulling each other down, that's what we do. And that is something that we have to stop doing. But how can we stop? How can we? We first need to have some form of trust, right? We've got to stop automatically assuming the worst in each other. We have to start assuming sometimes that everyone is not out to get us. Everyone's not out to get us. And if everyone keeps that mentality, we're never going to come out of this. Um, so I think we definitely have to have a level of trust, right? A sense of community has been lost amongst us as women. Yes, Dolly. And we find other strengths as a threat to us, as opposed to the complement in what we too bring to the table as individuals. And listen, this has always been my motto, right? There's enough of everything to go around, right? So because I become successful, it doesn't mean that you won't become successful also. And briefly, even when I was running my daycare business, I had a lot of other people that were opening up daycares that would come to me, and a lot of them was trying to be slick about it or whatever. But the bottom line was there's enough children for all of us, so there's no need for us to fight amongst each other. Let's come together and form an alliance so that we can serve the community well, right? So we don't always have to do that, but it just seems like Tanya said, we deal with a lot of our past issues and we start out without having trust. But the bottom line is, if you win, I win. If you have, I mean, for me, I have had a very tight circle for a while, for a few years. I learned what was important to me, right? Because you have to first learn what's important to you. And what is important to you may not be important to the next person, right? But if you're a part of my circle, I have to trust you, right? And one of the problems that we have is we don't have trust. We don't want to support each other. We don't want to be honest with each other. We don't respect each other. So if we have the amount of issues that we have, there's so much, yes, advice with Mel, is toxicity. It's a lot of toxicity in the air. And we have to do what it takes to change that amongst ourselves. Even if we're working within our circle, perhaps we need to have a meeting. Listen, I got your back. Do you have minds? Right? And then another thing is being honest with each other. Like, we don't want to tell our sisters when they're doing something wrong because we're so afraid that they're going to be angry with us. When the reality is, if I'm your sister and we have a sisterhood, we have a circle, I'm not going to steer you wrong. I'm not going to lie to you. I need to be able to be honest with you and look you in your face and say, no, sis, you're wrong. No, you shouldn't have done that. It doesn't mean that I have to tell everybody else that I told you that. But the fact is that I was honest enough and I loved you enough to come to you and tell you that. Because what we don't do is we're not honest with each other. We tell other people the person's problem, but we're not being honest with that person. So what good is it if I tell Betty Ann what your problem is, but I haven't been honest with you? So we got to stop. We've got to be honest with each other. Let me see what's being said in the chat. Um, so that's what's in it for me. The idea. Okay, I read that. So when you know better, you must be better and do better. And I agree. But sometimes we have to have conversations. Sometimes we have to talk about things and bring them out in the open so that we are aware. Because sometimes we're doing things and we're not aware we're doing them, right? Sometimes, yes, being accountable is important. If we're doing stuff sometimes and our intent is to be a good friend, our intent is to be there for each other, but a lot of times we're not there for each other, and it's not done intentionally. It's just that we don't realize that we're really not being there. If I know you're doing something wrong and I don't come to you and say to you, baby, you're wrong, you're wrong. What you said was wrong. You should have or you could have done this differently. If I can't do that, then I'm not your friend. I'm not being your sister. And that's what we have to start doing. We have to start being a real sisterhood, being my sister's keeper. Because if I'm not your keeper, then I don't need to be around you. If I'm not looking out for you, if I'm not telling you where you stepped out wrong, then I'm not being a friend. I'm not being supportive. So why have me around? Why? Um Good morning, WTF. So tell someone that they have the lettuce in their teeth. Exactly. So I'm going to sit across from you at the dinner table and watch this lettuce in your teeth and not say anything to you. Come on. Come on. Why would we do that? Why would we do that? Like, but we're so guilty of doing that because we don't want to hurt each other's feelings. Or sometimes we don't want who we call our sisters to really do better. And let's not escape that. Okay, because the truth of the matter is that there is a lot of jealousy and envy amongst us. So we have to look within ourselves because jealousy and envy is not your sister's issue. That's your issue. That's a personal issue that you have to deal with. Totally. Um, Tell someone their video is grainy or too dark. Right. Be honest. Listen, y'all honest with me because y'all be like, Carol, I can't see. No, this is not working. Your video is horrible. So I have to tell you, you guys have been pretty honest with me. Um, but yeah, so Dolly is saying being on the receiving end of constructive criticism or accountability, you must hop off of the defense and assuming someone's hating. And that is the problem. That's the problem. Where does that come from, though? That comes from not having trust. We don't trust. But if you are a part of my sisterhood, I'm supposed to trust you. Or else, why have that person be a part of your sisterhood or your circle of friends? If I can't trust you, I don't want nothing to do with you. Some of us women, hey, Mary, thanks for coming in. Some of us women, right, of a certain age. Hey, Renaya. Okay, be careful, be safe. Some of us women, hey, MTGV, thank you for coming in, guys. Thank you so much for coming in. Some of us have have an idea that we we are number one, that we are better than, and we like to judge each other from afar instead of really looking to support. Some of us, such as myself, I'm at an age where I have a lot of what I call the younger generation, which are in their 30s. My children's age, between 26 and 33. So I have a lot of people that come to me. I know, Verse, but I gotta listen. I have to tell it. I gotta be honest. I can't. I can't sit here and act like I just had a birthday. So I have really had to face face reality. It's happened. It's happening. Whether I want it to happen or not, it's happening. But with this age comes wisdom. With this age comes experience. And I am learning to embrace that instead of looking at it like, oh no, why is it happening? But with that being said, I find that I have an obligation to my younger sisters, to tell them and share with them my experiences in the hopes that they don't go down the same path. Now, does everyone have their own path that they have to go down? Do we all have mistakes to make? Yes, but there's some mistakes you don't have to make, right? There's some things that we have to know, that I don't have to do this because I know that the outcome isn't going to work for me. And we have an obligation as women of a certain age to share and to talk to these young ladies and let them know, I've been where you've been. I have friends that have been where you've been. And I promise you, I know how it feels, but it's not going to work. And I think that we need to be honest. We don't need to sugarcoat and do any of that. We have to be honest. I'm going to click off the camera for 1 minute, guys. I'm still talking, but I feel like we have an obligation to be honest with one another, to be honest to our younger generation and let them know, listen, this is what could happen. This is what you could do that will help the situation out. I'm not saying to substitute your own judgment for mine. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying sometimes we need to understand and take advice. And that's for even us that are on the same age level. Sometimes we don't know it all. We got to take advice. We got to trust in the process. Everyone is not your enemy. Absolutely, Dolly, or your naysayer. People believe in you more than you believe in yourself, and that I can believe, and can see things from a different scope, listen to a different perspective may help you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And even mistakes are a lesson that we need to master and not repeat. Absolutely, Audrey. Absolutely. But understand that realize, until we realize what the real issue is, until we realize it, we're going to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. We're going to be sent the same lessons over and over again until we really get the lesson. We're going to be tested all the time until you get that lesson. Once you've got that lesson and you start to work on that lesson and heal from it, you won't get that same lesson again. But we got to work through that lesson. We got to learn to support each other, to tell each other what we're feeling, whether you feel you're going to hurt someone's feelings or not. And I often give advice. People come to me for advice. Like, I don't know why, but they just do. Poor souls, they don't know. But people come to me for advice all the time. And I the reason that I am going to assume that they do is because I am not judgmental, because I've been there, because I'm no better than, because I'm going to be honest. And the people that are in my circle, when they come to me, they come into me for the truth, because they know I'm going to feed them the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I might stumble a little, I might hesitate because I don't want to hurt you. But at the end of the day, I can't stop it. I can't not tell you what I see in front of me. And if we're going to be our sister's keepers, we have to do that. We have to make a pledge to be honest with each other. We have to make a pledge to not judge one another, because you can walk in that person's shoes tomorrow and had not expected it. Advice from Mel says the issue with fear, guilt, and anger fuel your feelings and push you to make horrible decisions. And they do. But you know what? I think we're not going to ever have a life that's free of making the wrong decisions, right? We're going to make decisions that are wrong. That's a part of life. And because we're humans, we're going to make mistakes, right? I think the biggest issue is that we learn to acknowledge when we've done something wrong or we've made a bad decision. Once we acknowledge that we've made a bad decision, the chances of us making that decision again, the chances of it happening again is probably it won't. It won't. Once you get it and get healed, you are free. Listen, absolutely, Audrey. Once you get it, you're free. And God, who don't want to be free? Who does not want to be free? Because it's a horrible feeling to always feel like you've got to watch your back. Who wants to feel that way? Do I want to feel like I'm watching my back all the time? No, I don't want to feel like I'm watching my back all the time. I just want to live my life. I want to live my life. I want to be surrounded by people that are free, people that are supportive of me, people that are honest with me, people that are truthful with me. I think that once we start doing that, then we can kind of start to see things from a different perspective. Then we can kind of see where we went wrong, right? Where we went wrong. So I want everyone here to understand that as a sisterhood, if we really formed a sisterhood and we really supported each other the way we should, there's no way that we won't succeed. There's no way for us to fail if we have each other's back. Hey, KP, good to see you. Good to see you. There's no way. We've got to learn to trust each other, to respect each other, and have each other's back. Stop all the bickering amongst us. Stop bickering. Let's get along. Let's figure out how we can support each other. What can I tell you? We see people doing things wrong all the time, right? And because people have their guards up, we're scared to tell them. But listen, just tell them. Just tell them, because once you've done it, it's off of your plate. You have no guilt because I shared it with you. As long as we're not being malicious and we don't have ill intent, you don't have ill intent, then we're good. We're good. Dolly says another thing we need to practice is being vulnerable with the intent to receive healing and not for people to cuddle our misery and enable toxicity. That's the hardest thing too. Dolly, that is, you're absolutely right. And it's hard because people, we don't want to feel vulnerable because we do have trust issues. And it's hard to be vulnerable when you have trust issues. But again, I say, be mindful of the sisterhood around you. Be mindful of the people that you have in your circle. Because if they are truly for you and you are truly for them, then you can let your guard down. And my thing is, if I let my guard down and you did something to betray me, then that's on you. That's not on me. That's for you to deal with. We all got a God that we serve or a higher being that we serve. I'm going to serve mine, and I'm going to try to serve mine the best that I can. So if you've done something wrong to me, you have to answer for that, not me. But I must not live my life with my guards up all the time and not having trust in my spirit, trust in my heart. I'm not going to live that way. Because if you live that way, you're really not living. And I want to live. And like Audrey said, we want to be free. We want to be free. Okay, I'm not going to sing y'all. Um, so, yes, Verns, we are adults and we should not be arguing, but instead have an intelligent conversation. And I agree. And so many times we can't get to an intelligent conversation because we have so much anger, we have so much frustration. And let's be honest, a lot of us don't know how to express ourselves. A lot of us just don't know how to do it. And I think that if you're in a sisterhood and you trust each other enough, then it's something that we can teach each other. I can say to you, listen, I'm extremely angry. I'm so angry, girl, I could just bite your nose off. But let me tell you, I respect you enough to listen and hear your side and hear your point of view. What we have to do is stop judging and start understanding more. Understand more, because if we understand more, then we won't personalize things. We got to understand that everyone is not made of the same. Everyone has a past, and sometimes because of our past, we're in a place where we hurt people, and sometimes hurt people. But that's what having a sisterhood is all about. That is where holding your sister accountable comes into play. Hold that sister accountable. I see what you did. I know what you did. I don't like it. If you do it again, I'm going to cut you loose. But I think it's important that we learn to forgive because everybody's not perfect. And then also, sometimes we've hurt people and we ourselves don't know we've hurt people because sometimes people just shut down. Sometimes people don't say anything. And the one thing I say is I try to forgive because I would want someone to forgive me. And so I try to practice forgiveness. I try to practice it. That's a tall order and challenge, but it's an achievable goal. It is an achievable goal if when you come outside of this um, show today, if you make a commitment to one, two, three, four, five people that you consider your true sisters, start from there. Start from there. Start getting everyone together and have conversations. Tell people what you expect from them. I expect your loyalty. I expect your honesty. Tell people what expectations you have of them. You don't have to dredge up the past because we're living in the future. We're moving forward. We're in the present and we're working towards a future. We're not looking back because backwards don't get us nowhere. You ever try driving backwards? It's not going to get you where you need to go. So we have to move forward. Dolly says, then we must, as individuals, she's to the root of what is causing that mistrust. Everyone is not out to harm us. And if someone weaponizes your vulnerability against you, that's for God to handle. And that's what I was saying, Dolly. It's not for me to worry about what you've done wrong. As long as I'm doing right on my end now, am I going to be a stepping ladder? Am I going to let you just walk all over me? No, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. But I am willing to forgive. I am willing to give it another chance. I am willing to look at the part that I may have played in it. That's what I'm willing to do. And we have to be willing to do that. Um, Okay. So yes, we all think differently. And yes, free your mind and the rest will follow. Forgiveness is a gift we give to ourselves. And that's something that people don't understand. And it's a reason that some people can't move forward because they have so much anger in their hearts. They have not forgiven people. And listen, you living with something in your heart and the person don't even know what's wrong with you. The person don't even know you're angry. So they're living their lives. They're doing what they have to do. They going about their lives. They happy. And you still holding on to what happened in the past. And if you don't have a conversation, maybe they don't know what they did wrong. Maybe they don't know how you hurt them, how they hurt you. Or maybe you don't understand how you hurt them. So we definitely have to have, as Vern said, conversation. We have to talk to each other. We have to. And talking to people sometimes mean you're going to be vulnerable. Yeah. Yeah. But if this person is important enough to be a part of your sisterhood, then we have to be vulnerable. Sometimes we have to look at what attracted us to these people in the beginning. There's something about this person that drew me to them. So, because somebody did one thing wrong or did something you didn't like, you're just going to give up on it? No, that's not what sisterhood is about. Sisterhood is about us forgiving each other, being there for each other. It's about us sharing knowledge when we've learned something. When we've learned something, we learn from each other. Yes, Lynn is saying we have to forgive ourselves first, then we can forgive others. Absolutely, Lynn, because if you are not forgiving yourself, you can't forgive anybody else because you have too much going on. But you have to, even if you don't. Good afternoon, dominant man. Thank you so much for coming in. If you don't, if you don't know that you've done something to hurt each other, you can always pray that whatever I've done, that please forgive me. I forgive myself for causing pain to someone else. I forgive myself even if I didn't know what I did. I forgive myself for not knowing what I did. I forgive myself to being oblivious to other people's feelings. There's so many ways to forgive yourself and to forgive others. You don't always have to know what you've done wrong, but you won't know if you haven't had the conversation. And in having that conversation, you have to be open minded. You have to be open minded. You can't be closed up here because you're not going to receive what the person is telling you. Have an open mind and an open heart in order to receive what people are saying to you. And again, when we talk about being a part of a sisterhood and trusting each other and supporting each other, you have to know that a sisterhood is about opening your heart to others. That's what it's about. Um, we need, okay, I read that. I'm sorry. People are mad for months or years, and what did it solve if we don't let them know? Right, right, Mel. You people are walking. Listen, people are walking around mad because they don't understand. They don't understand. If you look at, and I'm about to get into something in a minute. Um, I'm about to get into something in a minute. Thank you so much for the compliment, dominant man. Thank you, I appreciate it. Um, right, Carol. I've had my struggles with having one-sided sisterhoods. Very that's very true, Dolly. And I've had my share with them of them. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. If I look at this platform of YouTube alone, and I will say YouTube because I haven't really encountered it on other platforms. But if I look at this platform of YouTube, and I'm going to be honest about this, and it's a part of why I say people don't know they're walking around mad at one another or envious or angry with someone, and they don't even know or understand why. People have a tendency to have assumptions. And you know what they say about assumptions. I'm going to tell you how my mama told me. When you assume, you make an asshole out of you and me. So we don't want to do that. You want to really not make assumptions. You want to think. You want to not think the worst first. You know, sometimes people get mad on this platform because somebody isn't watching them 24/7. Well, did you ever think that maybe this person may have a job that's taking them away from watching at that hour? That maybe you're going to catch a replay. Maybe you just don't have the time. Maybe you have your own personal issues going on. We've got to stop the nonsense. Cut it out. Stop it. Stop. Enough is enough. There's so many people on this YouTube platform that I've encountered that I do have a sisterhood with. I support them in the way that I can. Everybody can't afford memberships. Everybody can't. But you support the way you can support. If I choose to view your channel, that's supporting you. If I subscribe to your channel, that's supporting you. If I come in and watch one of your videos once a month, that is support. We have got to stop expecting things from people that they just can't give at the moment. We've got to stop doing that. It's like, well, yes, pay attention, Mel, and do it whatever you have to do if you have to do it. I'm here for it. But um, so yeah, I just, hey Charlene, thanks for joining us. So I just think that we have to really really get in the habit of not making assumptions, not assuming, because you don't know what someone else's life entails. Because if you're my sister and I am being my sister's keeper and I feel a certain way, I should be able to hit you up on your IG or give you a phone call or text you and say, "Hey, I haven't seen you on my chat lately. Are you first question, are you okay?" And not assume that people are doing something to you. And that's a part of us being a sisterhood. That's a part of it, is that we have to look at outside of ourselves sometimes, because everything that we do is not about us. Lynn is saying when we put our expectations on others, we get disappointed every time. Listen, I agree, we get disappointed, but we need to be open and honest about what our expectations are, right? If I have a group of people that support me, you're my friend, I listen, the people that's close to me, they know what I expect from them. I just expect you to be honest with me. I expect you to be truthful to me. I expect you to tell me if you think I'm doing something wrong. If you see that I'm doing something that's offending you, tell me. Don't tell don't tell Betty, who's a part of the sisterhood, because telling Betty is not going to solve the problem. You have to come to the source of the problem. And if the source of the problem is me, come to me. Hold me accountable for what I have done to you or what I'm doing wrong. And I should be doing the same. Too many of us are exactly, Audrey, are you okay? Because we assume that everyone's okay because people come out and they look good on their platforms. You don't know. I could be living in a room. I could have this set up in a room and be living in a room for all you know. So we don't know. If we don't have the facts, we have to stop making assumptions. We have to stop. We have to really honestly, honestly stop this nonsense. Stop it. Support your people. Tell them what you expect from them so that they can give you that in return, so that the sisterhood is a satisfying sisterhood. Yes, Charlene, I agree with you. I feel the same way. It's how we resolve. Absolutely. And that's the problem. We don't resolve. A lot of times we walk away from things and we don't resolve them. And we walk away in our own feelings and never understanding what the other person's feelings are. We assume what their feelings are. Welcome in, Wagwana Yard in Abroad TV. Welcome in. I hope I didn't mess that up. Um, so yes, Mel, it's the setup for compromise. Communication is key. And when we form sisterhoods and we start talking about being our sister's keeper, that is a part of it. We have to compromise. We have to communicate. And I'm going to say this over and over again. You're going to hear this a lot, that we have to be honest with each other. And honesty means holding your sisters accountable. It means really telling people when you feel they're doing something wrong. People come to you, right? And they'll say, like, you have a sister and she'll call you and she'll go, "Oh, girl, you wouldn't even believe what she said to me." And da 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 da. Da. You know that sister that's talking to you, right? You know how that sister behaves, right? So when that person comes to you, you know in your mind you're saying, "Mm-hmm," because I bet you did this. "Mm-hmm, I bet you did that." But are you telling them, or are you asking them, "Okay, well, what did you say? Well, why would she say that out the clear blue? What? Tell me what part you played in this. Tell me what your role is in this." So we've got to stop. And yes, we are obsessed with being right instead of reconciling post disagreement, reconciling post disagreement. We must overstand this. Yes, yes, Dolly. Nice word. Overstand this. Yes, yes. Um, we've got to do that. I love, love, love. I love my sisters. I love the circle of friends that are surrounding me. I absolutely love them. I think that I'm surrounded by these people because of who I am and the energy that I exert. And because of that, I think I'm in a good place. Lynn says a lot of times we don't know how to communicate, and that comes what we experience in life. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. We don't know how to communicate with each other. We do not. I'm going to go off camera one more second, guys. We don't know how to communicate with each other. We don't. We often, I didn't go on camera, obviously, but we don't know how to communicate with each other. And what we do when we start communicating is we exude anger, we exude emotions instead of dealing with the problem at hand. And we have to stop doing that. Yes, Mel, if they can talk to you about someone, you can believe they can talk to someone about you. And that's what happens in our sisterhood. And we've got to stop. We've got to stop. We've you know, you know what I say? We have to stop judging. We have to stop judging each other. And we have to sometimes think about putting ourselves in other people's shoes. That's where I think a lot of the disconnect is. Yes, Audrey, we know you get we we know you're guilty of it. But yeah, we have to really start to um, hold each other accountable, not be afraid to have conversations, have an open dialogue with your sisterhood. Come together. My hope is that after this, hey, at it again. My hope is after this conversation that you reach out to some of the people in your sisterhood and do a sisterhood check. Just do a sisterhood check. Ask everyone, are you okay? Is there something that you need from me? And I'm not talking about do you need something from me financially, even though some people may. I'm talking about what do you need from me? Do you need me to just come over and sit and just we have some girl time together? Do you need me to come and give you a hug? Do you need just a listening ear? What are you okay? What can I do for you? Do you need me? What exactly is it that I can give you instead of always having our hands out looking for something? Serve each other. Serve your sisters. Give them what they need and not always focus on what it is that you need at the moment. Because if the circlehood and the sisterhood is tight, you're going to get your time. You're going to get your time. There's going to be a time when you're going to need, and they should be there for you. Dolly says, right. Something I heard someone say recently is the sooner we recognize that we weren't all raised in the same household, the closer we'll get to seeing different perspectives. And guess what, Dolly? Some of us are raised in the same household and we still have different perspectives because we are our own individual people. So we are going to definitely have different perspectives because the way you may have perceived that behind whipping that your mother gave you, I may perceive it differently. How you may perceive um, seeing your mom work hard and not spend time with you may be different than the way my sibling perceived it. So we all, even though we're in the same household and we're growing up with the same parent, our perspectives are always going to be different because we're different people because we have a different personality type. So we're going to see things different. We're not going to see them the same. No two people really have the same experience. Our experiences are different because we're different people. But I really want yeah, right. Renaya says I hold my friends accountable for the truth. And yes, you do, ma'am. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Um, so I just think that we need to get back to basics. We need to get back to basics. We need to support each other. We need to hold each other accountable. We need to be honest with each other, trust each other, share experiences with each other. Be vulnerable. Be vulnerable. And if we start to take in some of those things, then we can truly say, I am my sister's keeper. And, you know, I hope that in my circle, I hope that you guys are holding me accountable. Yes, Lynn, platforms like this definitely helps. And a lot of people don't want to deal with the positivity. The negativity is more interesting, and that's okay. For me, the person I am, I choose to do something to make a difference. Even if one person walks away from today's show and say, aha, I have an aha moment, that person that I'm not speaking with, that person that I'm angry with, I need to get in touch with them. I need to have an intelligent conversation. Then I feel like I've won. I feel like I've honestly won. Yes, be honest, not brutal. The difference is in the intent behind the honesty. And that again, that goes back to that non-judgmental factor. We're not judging. You want to have an open conversation. This is why I feel the way I felt. This is why it may not be right. Because you ever get mad at someone and you're furious and you're angry, and then a month later you can't even remember why you're not speaking. You can't even remember because it wasn't relevant. And this is why I say life is too short. If we've learned anything from what we've just gone through, the one thing we should have learned is that life is short, and that anything can happen just like that and it be taken away from us. And we've got to remember that. We've got to realize that. um At It Again says, yes, that's true. I conducted a study that proves that although in the same home, we are all different. Yeah, absolutely. I can tell you that from me and my three siblings. We are all different. We all, even though we share of the same moral compass, we value things differently. We have different perspectives on things, and that's okay. That's okay. Um, so at Okay, so yeah, put on your grown up. Yes, indeed. Lynn says, I believe that if we as sisters can get it together, then our relationships are better, our family is better, which in turns makes our community better. And I want to say that if when you are, for a lot of people that are married and have um spouses at home, a lot of times we make our spouses our everything. And that's okay. That's okay. But there's nothing like that sister to lean on. You know, when you're upset with your husband and you got that sister that you could go to and say, God damn it, he done pissed me off today. And you be there for that sister and you not judge that sister. Oh, there's nothing better. There is nothing better than that. So I definitely think that we have to we have to really look at who we are surrounding ourselves with and have those hard conversations. Guys, I am going to come back to you in a moment. I'm just going to play a quick commercial, and I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back. And I am back. I'm sorry, guys. Allergy season for me here. And I don't want to keep blowing my nose while I'm on the camera, but it is definitely allergy season. I appreciate you guys for hanging in there. And when I say allergy season, this South is way different than the North, because there's no way that I should be being affected by allergies at this time of the year. But that's obviously the difference. So let me see what I missed. Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Three sisters in the same household, and we are all very different. But I will say we have the same moral compass, right? We have the same moral compass, different personalities, but our moral compass has always been the same. Good. We work hard. We all value that. We all are great parents. We really worked on giving our children the best we could, physically, mentally. So yeah, we have a lot of the same, definitely the same moral compass. And so that's how it is growing up in the same household but taking different things away. Some of the things that affected me did not affect my siblings, and vice versa. So yeah, we're all different people. Charlene says, I agree with you, coach. I also would add that some folks we just have to let go lovingly because we are on different vibrations. Yes, Charlene, I agree with you. And that was what I alluded to, the comment, to that statement, that people come into our lives for a reason and a season. Everyone is not meant to stay. We everyone definitely is not meant to stay. People are meant to come sometimes in our lives and go out of our lives, but usually they come with a lesson or a message. You get and I believe that everything that happens in this world, there's a lesson behind it. And when something happens to me and it's not what I was expecting, or I got my feelings hurt, I usually go back and try to evaluate it and say, well, what was the purpose of that person coming in my life? Yeah, I'm going to let them go. I have to. But what was the purpose? What was the lesson? Did I overreact? Did I not overreact? Did I take something wrong? Did I just shut down? Like, I have to be accountable to myself more than I can be accountable before I can be accountable to other people. So none of us are perfect, and we do make mistakes. We absolutely do. Um, Okay, so Dolly is saying, yes, Charlene, it's all in the intent and delivery. If we want our message to come across and be received appropriately, please handle with care and extend your message with a touch of grace and love. Grace and love. That's basically what it is. We have to um definitely remember that we have to have grace, and we got to let our love shine through. Um Yeah, yeah, definitely bipolar here in North Carolina. It's an adjustment. Um, but I'm not going nowhere. They trying to push me out with all these extra problems, but I ain't going nowhere. I'm here to stay. This is one circle that is going to remain closed because I am not leaving North Carolina. Um, okay, so you're saying that I'm the most grounded one. Thank you, sis. Thank you. I mean, yeah. I mean, we all have our good, and we all have our bad. I'm also the most stubborn. So we all have stuff. So I just, like I said, when I appreciate everyone for coming in on this show. And what this show is about is us having open dialogue, open discussion, and taking something away. So every time that I do a show, I want someone to take something away from it. I mean, we have some fun times on here, but I really want everyone to walk away and say, okay, I get this. I got that. I walked away feeling good at the end of the discussion. I walked away I got something from it. So I really want everyone to walk away and take something away. So I want to ask you guys really quickly. I know this is jumping off topic, but my work schedule is changing, and my Sundays, I'll actually be working on Sundays. Cut it out. Cut it out. I'll also be working on Sundays. I don't know how many of you would want to keep the show on Sunday. And if I kept it on Sunday, I would have to go to an earlier hour, which would be about 10:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m. Let me know by show of hands if 10:30 a.m. is too early for you on a Sunday. Let me know. If not, I probably would have to switch the day of the show. And I really like the Sundays because it puts us gives us a good start to the week. So I really like doing the Sundays. So let me know if you guys would be susceptible, if you're okay with an earlier show. And this wouldn't be right away. This would be a little, I'm sorry, this would be probably 2 3 weeks down the line when my schedule is going to really flip over. But yeah, so let me know if you're okay with like an earlier hour, like 10. Just put a one in the chat. If not, I'm probably going to do a poll. Okay, good, Lynn. Thank you, Audrey. I'm going to probably do a poll on YouTube just to see, because I really didn't want to change Sundays. I want to keep going. And as always, guys, if you have something that you want to share, you have a topic that you guys want to discuss, hit me up with the topic, because this idea of I am my sister's keeper came from Dolly. This was not my original idea. This was her idea in a conversation that we were having. But if you have a topic that you want to talk about or something you want to share, just let me know. Hit me up on Instagram and let me know. Oh, great, guys, because I didn't know what to do. I was like, are they going to be able to come in at 10 a.m.? I wasn't certain. But if so, the 10 a.m. is probably going to be really great, a great time for me, because I'll still be able to get to work, because I'll still work on Sundays, but I'll be able to get to work. I'll be able to do the show and then get to work. Um, you said I could have kept that to myself. Um, yeah, so I want at the this is basically the start of the new week, and I hope that we have gotten a different perspective and thought a little bit more about how we could better support each other as sisters, how we could strengthen our sisterhood, because that's the idea. I want us to have stronger foundations, have our sisters to look up to, have our sisters when we need encouragement or we're feeling like giving up, that you can go to your sisterhood and they support you and they give you the words and encouragement that you need to go on, because that's what sisterhood is all about. The fact that you guys come in here and support me on Sundays when you could be doing something else, that is my sisterhood. You guys are a part of my sisterhood because you're here for me. You know what I need and you're here. No questions asked. What time? I'm here for that time and I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it, which is why I try not to hold you guys for more than an hour on a Sunday, because I value your time just as much as you do. So, guys, this has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation. Do not forget, if you can dream about it, you damn sure can be about it. Feel free, go check out my other videos, subscribe to my channel, and I love you guys. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.